Hey, today I'm going to go over CrossFit endurance, something that I've been doing to get faster and stronger, and it's really been cool. It's kind of counterintuitive because the method of training involves less biking, less swimming, and less running, and yet in the end, you end up being a better athlete and faster. I'm setting PRs here in my old age, 47, and it's all from doing this style of training. So let me kind of go over it and just kind of explain it to you. It's traditionally triathlon has considered strength training a supplemental type of an activity, but CrossFit Endurance considers CrossFit to be the primary training with 2 bike, 2 run, and 2 swim workouts as sufficient for effective endurance training. Again, may seem counterintuitive, but it works. You can go to CrossFitEndurance.com. They provide all the WODs, and I don't really like that. I'll talk about that in a minute, how you can get all the WODs in advance, because getting them the day before kind of sucks. But anyways, they provide you the CrossFit workout of the day and the multi-sport workouts. They refer to those as 3S. There's 4 CrossFit workouts per week, and those are crucial. They form the backbone of everything else you're going to do. The 2 swim, 2 bike, 2 run workouts are short, intense. They require great form strength and structural stability, in the end making you a much better athlete. And I'll show you a chart on that here in a minute. It's pretty interesting. It's based on the concept of, at least this is the way I interpret it, the minimal effective dose. You know, when a doctor prescribes medicine, the goal is to prescribe the correct amount, not too much, not too little. And taking more can be detrimental. A lot of people think, well, I'm just going to take more medicine faster, I'll get better faster. It doesn't work that way. As a matter of fact, it can be poisonous. There's this minimal effective dose of training as well. I mean, you just need to do the right amount. You don't have to do any more. And anything more can lead to injury, adrenal fatigue, slower race times, and repetitive motion injuries. So CrossFit Endurance is similar to minimal effective dose thinking. You know, how can you get as much done as possible in the minimal amount of time? If all an athlete did was the 4 CrossFit workouts, they would have a solid base for success in any athletic activity. And it's also based on the Pareto principle that for almost all human activity, roughly 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. So it's basically figuring out what's that 20% of workout that will give me the most benefit. And CFE is based on making sure that the most 20% of race prep is done, and done really well. There's 4 types of CrossFit endurance workouts. Now, we already talked about the WODs. The WODs, workout of the day, is done at a CrossFit gym, or you could do them at home as well. Wouldn't be as good, but you could. Now, the CFE workouts, meaning the swim, bike, run, are based on 4 different types. There's the short interval, or what they refer to as the S-INT, the long intervals, L-INT, time trials, or TT, and tempo. And that's it. No long, slow distance. And there's a reason for that. Here's the pros and cons of traditional triathlon training. The benefits are you do have increased cardiovascular function, better fat utilization, and greater capillarization. The drawbacks are decreased muscle mass, decreased strength, decreased power, decreased speed, decreased anaerobic capacity, and decreased testosterone. All really bad things. But when you work out fast, you tend to go fast. Slow running makes slow runners, and the same principle applies to swimming and biking. CFE ensures lots of high-intensity speed work with no junk miles. So the benefits of CrossFit Endurance, it takes less time than traditional triathlon training because there is no long, slow distance. Of course, if you enjoy a long bike ride or swim or run, you can, of course, go do that. And we all enjoy doing that now and then. It just gets monotonous when you have to do it all the time and you're away from your friends and family and work too much, and it gets to be a drag and a burden instead of being fun the way you really want it to be in the beginning. There's also quality time spent above race pace, and if you want to get faster in a race, you gotta train to be fast. You gotta spend quality time at faster than your race pace. It will improve your strength, mobility, power. You'll have better recovery, better HGH, and this is a word from Keena, my triathlon coach, anti-catabolic. I have no idea what that means. I guess I have to Google it, but it has to do with better recovery, I assume. And also less stress on the immune system. In short, you'll be an all-round better athlete and spend less time, yet achieve superior results. In addition, you will look better. Fast workouts are fun workouts, and you will be an all-round better athlete using this style. Now there's 4 elements of the CFE 3S workout, whether it's swim, bike, or run. A really good warm-up. As a matter of fact, the shorter the workout, the longer the warm-up should be. If you're going to go for a 20-mile run, you don't have to warm up for very long because the first few miles will be your warm-up. But if you're going for 3 miles of speed work, you need a really good warm-up. So make sure you do a good warm-up with dynamic stretching, drills, mobility, followed by 3 brief sprints at 80%, 90%, then 100% exertion. But they're short. You're now warmed up and you spend 5 minutes resting before you go do your workout. During that time, you can work on your roller or do dynamic stretching. You then go do the recommended swim, bike, or run at high intensity with great form. The bummer about CrossFit Endurance is the WODs are provided daily as in CrossFit. Well, the problem with that is it doesn't allow you to plan your week. A CrossFit gym is fine because it's indoors. But I always like to check the weather and work out with my, on my bike and run accordingly. And so I like to have my workouts in advance, and then I can plan them around weather or other activities or whatever and be able to change, what's coming up and adjust for it a week or so in advance. You can't do that from the CrossFit Endurance site. I'll show you how to get around that here in a minute. And I talked about this sucks if you had bad weather for the run bike. And the website is incomplete and in some cases inaccurate. For example, the bike drills links don't show you bike drills. They take you to some interesting videos on how to use a watt bike. And so it's just kind of new, and the guys, don't have everything together yet. It's a great site generally, but it's kind of hard to decipher sometimes what to do. So I've grabbed all the WODs and posted them at davesherwin.com. You can copy and paste and schedule them in advance. And for me, here's how it's worked out. Since I've been doing CrossFit Endurance, I've run my fastest 5K. And you're not supposed to get faster as you get older, so that's really cool. It's cool to be 47 years old and getting faster. My first race of the year, after 90 days of CrossFit Endurance, I beat my last year's time on the same course with exactly the same weather conditions. Everything was the same, but I beat it by 2 minutes in a sprint, which is really great. Taking 2 minutes off a sprint is not that easy to do. As a matter of fact, I beat my age group. I won my age group by 2 minutes, and so that was pretty cool. And I accomplished both of these things with half of the swimming, biking, and running that I usually do. Very cool. As I mentioned, I've hacked all the WODs and provided additional helpful info that I've discovered at davesherwin.com. There's tons of great and useful stuff at their website, crossfitendurance.com. And I recommend it. Try it. You'll like it. And I think you'll become a better athlete, a stronger athlete with less injuries. This is Dave Sherwin wishing you massive success in your training.